What's up, you guys? It's Nicholas Johnson, your favorite sports YouTuber, and I'm going to give you the latest updates in today's world of sports, especially on yesterday's action in both football and hockey. Yesterday, you had a Monday Night Football showdown between the New Orleans Saints and the Las Vegas Raiders, and the game was played in the Raiders' new home of Allegiant Stadium up in Las Vegas, in Sin City. And for this game, it was a complete shocker. You know, the Saints jumped out to an early 17-0 lead at the half before the Raiders somehow, someway scored 31 unanswered points, especially a 13-yard rushing touchdown by Jalen Richard that basically put the game on ice. And the Saints managed to score a touchdown late in the fourth quarter, but at that point it was already too late, and the Raiders would end up winning this one 34-24 over the visiting Saints. Drew Brees had 312 yards passing through a touchdown, but also through an interception, especially late in the game where the Saints were trying to make a comeback, and it just wasn't to fruition. Alvin Kamara had 79 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on the ground. The leading receiver was Alvin Kamara himself, also adding 95 yards receiving on 9 catches. Traquan Smith, who filled in the absence for Michael Thomas, who had to miss this game due to a high ankle injury that he suffered in last week's win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Traquan Smith was the team's second leading receiver with 5 catches for 86 yards. And the lone touchdown pass was to tight end Jared Cook, who had 2 catches on 13 yards. So wasn't much to say about the defense, even though the defense accumulated exactly 3 sacks on Derek Carr. Derek Carr basically got the best of Drew Brees in this one, as the Raiders quarterback threw for 282 yards and 3 touchdowns and not a single pick. So he basically outplayed Drew Brees a bit in this department. Josh Jacobs had 88 yards rushing to go with 27 carries. And as I mentioned, Jalen Richard had that rushing touchdown that pretty much put the game on ice to go along with 2 carries on 26 yards rushing. Darren Waller, who is now emerging as one of the league's best tight ends out of nowhere since last season, had 12 catches for 103 yards and caught one of Derek Carr's touchdown passes. Defense was solid throughout as they managed to maintain a lead for the Raiders for basically the entire second half, basically the second half of the entire game. And Nicholas Morrow had the middle linebacker for the Raiders had an interception on Drew Brees, which basically sealed any hopes of any comeback. So the Raiders won this one 34-24. And surprisingly, are off to a 2-0 start because they won last week in convincing fashion over the Carolina Panthers. And to see a team that's basically known for being in mediocrity for the last 3 decades, maybe this is a turn of the corner for them. Off to a 2-0 start and looking to build momentum off of that as they come to New England next week to take on the Patriots. So yeah, the Raiders, 2-0, will be traveling to the East Coast next week to take on the Patriots in Foxborough, Massachusetts, who themselves are hoping to look to bounce back from their Sunday night loss to the Seattle Seahawks in heartbreaking fashion. So, and the New Orleans Saints will try to bounce back in their game next week against, hold up, let me check the schedule because the computer can take time. So it was a complete shocking loss for New Orleans, who was expected to be able to win this game comfortably against especially a team such as the Raiders, like I said, is known for being a team in mediocrity for the last 3 decades as we speak. So, but with the returning John Gruden at the helm, maybe things will change. So, and this is already Gruden's 3rd season as a returning head coach of the Oakland Raiders. So, and this team's off to a good start. And as we speak, like I said, the Raiders will go to New England to take on Cam Newton and the Patriots, who are 1-1 themselves. And the Saints will be looking to bounce back on the Sunday Night Football matchup against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, who are 2-0 themselves. So, another classic matchup anticipated next Sunday night on NBC between Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. 2 future first ballot Hall of Fame quarterbacks is bound to have a great showdown. And of course, early on in the morning, Sunday morning, you'll have the Raiders and the Patriots. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen there. But the Raiders came in, stole with the winner, got off to an impressive start so far to begin the 2020 season. So we'll be looking to see exactly how this goes from there on. And also in hockey news, the Dallas Stars, who were looking to build off of the momentum win that they had in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals on Saturday night, came close to within a goal away from forcing overtime as they fell 3-2 to the Dallas Stars in Game 2 of last night's action of the Stanley Cup Finals. So it was a better bounce back performance for the Lightning, who got creamed in the first game of the Finals 4-1. And goals coming from the likes of Braden Point, Andre Palat, and Kevin Shattenkirk made all the difference, especially Shattenkirk's winner late in the first period. And all three of Tampa Bay's goals have come in the first period of play, while the Dallas Stars from goals, respectively, from Matthias Janmark and former longtime Anaheim I take that lie back. Former longtime San Jose Shark Joe Pavelski contributing with a goal each in the following two periods to get the Stars back to within one. But Tampa Bay, along with a solid, stellar goaltending from Andrei Vasilevsky, pretty much hold down the fort. And now with that, the series is now tied at 1 apiece, with Game 3 set for Wednesday night on NBC or NBCSN. Be sure to check it out. And of course, let me know in the comment section of who you got in that series if you're a hockey fan. Do you think the Stars have the chance to win it? Do you think Tampa Bay, with their up and down solid lineup, even with the absence of Steven Stamkos, who is yet to even play in the NHL playoff bubble to this point, still dealing with a lower back injury, and he's possibly going to be out for the entirety of the playoffs, because he hasn't been ruled out officially of the playoffs yet, because he's still listed as inactive in the Stanley Cup Finals itself. Still, it's unlikely he's going to make a return at this point. So, but the Lightning have done a tremendous job, even without his services, the way they've been able to cruise through the playoffs as we speak, and hopefully keep the engine rolling. So, for me personally, I think this series will probably go the distance based on how stellar the teams are playing this season. So, maybe I got the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6 games at the most. But this can go 7, because this series has the potential to go 7 games. But I got Tampa Bay in 6. Let me know who you got if you're a hockey fan. You got Dallas, you got Tampa Bay. Don't be afraid to let me know. And, of course, in NBA's action, tonight is Game 3 of the NBA's Western Conference Finals matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. The Lakers are already up 2-0 in the series, hoping to win these next 2 games to clinch a berth in the NBA Finals, their first trip since 2010, when Kobe Bryant won his 5th and final NBA title with the squad, en route to back-to-back wins with Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom at the helm too. So, yeah, so Lakers hopefully will try to close out in a series sweep, but then again, this is a Nuggets team that's been at a handful, bag of tricks and surprises throughout these entire playoffs, especially with the fact that in Game 2, they gave the Lakers exactly all that they handle. After trailing by 15 points, they chipped away in the deficit and was like blocking potentially an Anthony Davis 3-point jump shot away from stealing Game 2. But Anthony Davis, like I said, with his incredible performance on Game 2 and that game-winning, buzzer-beating three-pointer to win it for the Lakers says all the difference right there. So maybe the Nuggets will have a chance to bounce back and win Game 3. But if the Lakers continue on their stellar play as they have been the last 2 games, then you possibly are going to see a series sweep, as we all know it. So, and of course, tomorrow night's game will feature Game 4 of the Eastern Conference final matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Boston won Game 3 after losing the first 2 to Miami. And hopefully we'll be able to even the series at 2 games apiece. So the reason they didn't play on Monday as we expected them to, because apparently the NBA wants to match up the pace of both conference players. Since the Eastern Conference had a really big jump head start in the second round after a couple of sweeps over there by Boston over Philadelphia and Toronto over Brooklyn, and Indiana getting swept by Miami. So yeah, a couple sweeps kind of made the that's what sped up the playoff bracket of the Eastern Conference up further. But since we have already gotten to this point, they slowed it down just to match up the pace of the conference final play. And with that being said, here we are at this point. So game 4 between Boston and Miami is scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, at I believe 5 p.m. I could be wrong, 5 p.m. Pacific. So do tune into that one. Let me know exactly who you got in both conference series. Do you have the Lakers making the NBA Finals in the West? Do you think Denver can pull off a massive upset after pulling one against the LA Clippers in the last round? Do you have Boston, the dominant team, going to the finals once again, as they always have? Or do you have Miami, a legitimate dark horse contender, potentially shocking the world as they already have in the last round when they dominated the Milwaukee Bucks? So, yeah, let me know exactly who you got in the NBA playoffs. Who do you go for? Who do you think has the best chances to win the NBA title this year? And, yeah. Now, of course, as I already mentioned, the Major League Baseball is already in the final week of its season this week. And with the playoffs looming around the corner starting next week in the American League Wild Card Series beginning on the 29th, as we all know. As I mentioned before, the Los Angeles Dodgers have the best record in baseball with a potential league MVP in Mookie Betts at the helm. They were the first one to clinch a playoff spot. The Oakland Athletics followed suit a couple days afterwards. The Tampa Bay Rays clinched a spot in the playoffs. And then 2 days ago, you had the New York Yankees and the San Diego Padres clinching their playoff spots. And the Chicago White Sox and the Minnesota Twins have also clinched their playoff spots. So we'll see exactly who's going to possibly round out the final 2 wildcard spots in the American League. And more importantly, to see exactly who will clinch in the National League. The Chicago Cubs have a real steady edge in the National League's Central Division. So they're pretty much clinched that with ease. Same with the Atlanta Braves. Even though they got onto a real slow start to the season, they managed to pick it up. And behind a league MVP performance, potentially from Freddie Freeman, the Braves can basically finish this one off with ease. And with the Miami Marlins now becoming one of the surprising stories this season, are on the verge of clinching a playoff spot since their World Series win back in 2003. Currently the second longest active playoff drought in the MLB right now. The longest is obviously the Seattle Mariners, who haven't made it there since 2001, their infamous 116-win season, and that's the last time they've been there. And it's currently the longest active playoff drought in all of North American sports. So, yeah, that's that's a problem. So yeah, with that being said, we got some news yesterday I should have broke down to y'all last night. Last night, the Oakland Athletics have clinched the American League West Division. So this is their first division title since 2013. Congratulations for them. And yeah, that's like the biggest story to think about so far. Like I said, it's the last week of the MLB regular season. Like, who do you got making the playoffs? Who do you think has the best chance to win the World Series? And who do you think will be a dark horse contender? Who do you think will be the biggest surprise in this year's MLB season? So, and I'm just going through the MLB website to exactly see who else has clinched a spot in the postseason. But so far, I haven't gotten much of that already. So, if I do get any updates on that, I will make a video on that one tomorrow. So, but other than that, yeah, so the Oakland Athletics clinched the AOS division thanks to thumping the Houston Astros in the biggest of ways possible. So, yeah. 6-1 loss of the Astros. So, yeah, with that being said, yeah, 6-1 loss um, from the Astros basically helped the A's clinch the AL West division. So, and by far, this is like the only division title winner that we've had so far in this last week of the season. We all thought the Dodgers were gonna rapidly close the division out already, but the Padres kind of had other plans. They were on their heels at one point 2 weeks ago for the National League West division crown. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. And yeah, that's basically all I have in this in today's sports update. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that bell button where you can get my daily notification updates. And I'll be posting more videos like this in the near future. So that's all I have for today. And today's newly sports updates. I'm Nick Johnson, signing out. Peace.